Welcome to Cooking Techniques Made Easy Through Video. My name is Mark Coppola. And this is New York's Chinatown. We came here to sample the restaurants to find out which were the most popular dishes being served. From those dishes, we compiled our recipes. This is the Chinese Video Cookbook series, and this is the Vegetable Book. Here are the recipes you'll find in this video cookbook. They're all very delicious and quite easy to prepare. You'll be amazed to see how simple it really is to cook when you can see someone preparing the food before your very eyes. I know you'll enjoy it. Let's start with Mandarin pickled salad, an easy-to-prepare recipe which makes a tasty way to start a meal. First, we're going to cut a good-sized cabbage into 1-inch cubes. Our chef cuts off the stem part because that is too tough. We remove the heart of the cabbage, which is already the right size for our salad. With the side of the cleaver, we tap the pieces loose. Our chef uses the cleaver, but any broad blade knife you have will get the job done. Please, for your own safety, when learning a new cutting technique, push the pause button on your VCR to stop the frame so that you can concentrate on what you're doing. You can also pause your VCR to take down the ingredients which appeared at the beginning of this recipe, or you can check your recipe cards which came with this video cassette. We're just about done here with the cabbage, and as you can see, one large cabbage will make quite a bit of salad. Next, we slice the carrot into large pieces at an angle. This is called julienne style. Now, resting the side of the cleaver against the knuckles, we reduce the carrot pieces further in size. Notice how the fingers are curled under out of the way of the blade? This is a safe and efficient method of cutting or shredding vegetables. You can make quite thin slivers this way with a sharp knife or cleaver. To prepare the bell peppers, cut off both ends. Open the strips out flat and sweep away the seeds in one motion. Chop into squares. Now this is a good professional technique to learn for cutting peppers. With a little practice, you'll be able to do it just like our master chef. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Cut off the ends, open the middle strip and sweep away the seeds. And cut the meat of the pepper into bite-sized pieces. Use the ends as well. Here we have our main ingredients: cabbage, carrots, and peppers cut into 1-inch squares. Now, doesn't that look appetizing? Add the 15 hot peppers. You can vary the number to suit your taste. To make the marinade, we sprinkle about 2½ tablespoons of salt into the bowl. Add 2 cups of sugar. Now, this may seem like a lot, but our salad will not come out too sweet. And finally, add 4 cups of white vinegar. Now, cover the bowl and place under refrigeration. Let it stand for 3 days to marinate completely. Turn the vegetables over in the bowl several times during this period so that the vegetables will all marinate to the same consistency. And there you have it, folks. Flavorful, healthful Mandarin pickled salad. Now let's try an unusual eggplant recipe. Spicy eggplant with delicious sauce. Remember, you can push the pause button on your VCR to stop the frame in order to jot down ingredients or to check your recipe card before shopping. Here we have 2 large, fresh eggplants. It's a good idea to cook them the same day you buy them so that your dish will come out as fresh and tasty as possible. The ground pork or beef is added to bring out the flavor of the vegetables in Chinese cooking. If you're a vegetarian, this recipe will work fine without the meat. Cut off the end of the eggplant and peel the skin with your knife or cleaver. You see how effortless this is with a sharp blade? We slice the eggplant against the grain into 1/2-inch patty-sized pieces. Stack the pieces and resting the blade of the cleaver against the knuckles, keeping the fingers curled under, slice into French fry-sized pieces. This recipe will easily serve 2. To make the sauce, add 3 tablespoons of white vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons soy sauce, 2 or 3 tablespoons minced garlic, 2 tablespoons chopped scallions, 1 teaspoon minced ginger, 1 teaspoon chili paste with garlic, 1 tablespoon sherry wine, 1 to 2 teaspoons sesame oil, and 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch. Blend these ingredients thoroughly. Gently place the eggplant sticks into the 4 cups of oil preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which means extremely hot. Use a ladle or large spoon to make certain all the pieces are immersed in the oil and will cook evenly and completely. Cook this for 5 minutes. Now, drain into a colander. Retain a tablespoon or two of oil in the wok or skillet and add the ground pork or beef and stir fry for a minute or so. Remember, if you're a vegetarian, this recipe will work without the meat. Stir until the meat is thoroughly cooked. Remember, you can use the skillet you would normally use for frying chicken instead of the wok. Add the sauce. Return the eggplant to the wok and stir, moving everything around in the wok to cook evenly and thoroughly. You can just smell the aroma filling your kitchen. The Chinese video cookbook series is simple and fun. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a dish fit for royalty. Spicy eggplant. You've probably heard of Szechuan cuisine, named after the province in southern China. Now you have a chance to prepare a famous and colorful dish from this legendary place. Szechuan string beans. As you will see, it is quick and easy to prepare. Here we have a plate of string beans, sometimes called snaps. Break one in half. If it breaks cleanly with a snap, you know that it's fresh. In Szechuan string beans, we are using a ½ pound of ground pork. Beef can be used as well. Meat adds flavor to the dish. However, if you're a vegetarian, feel free to omit the meat. Our recipe for 2 will work fine without it. Now we prepare the spicy sauce. Add 2 teaspoons soy sauce, 1 tablespoon sherry wine, 1 tablespoon minced garlic, 1 teaspoon sugar, 1 teaspoon chili paste with garlic, 1 teaspoon white vinegar, 1 teaspoon sesame oil, 1/3 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 teaspoon cornstarch, and 1/8 teaspoon of white pepper. Now blend the ingredients well. In your wok or skillet, preheat the 4 cups of oil to 300 to 325 degrees. Place 1 string bean into the oil. If the oil bubbles around it, you know the oil is at the right temperature. Gently add the beans. Hot oil, as you may know, can splatter, so keep a fire extinguisher handy when cooking with hot oil. With the ladle, stir the beans continually so that they cook evenly and thoroughly. This will take up to 3 to 4 minutes. The beans are cooking happily, as the Chinese would say. Cooking the beans in oil rather than in water will make the beans crispier and will seal in the flavor. By now, you should be getting the hang of it. You can do it. These recipes are easy and fun. Now drain the beans into a colander. Retain 2 tablespoons of oil in the wok. Now add the pork and stir fry. Break up the patty into pieces. You see how quickly this small amount browns? Always cook pork thoroughly. By now you should be getting the hang of it. Now return the beans to the wok and fry with the pork. Open the beans by striking them with the bottom of the ladle. This ensures that the beans will absorb all of the sauce. Always add those few good shakes for good luck. Add the sauce and continue to cook for about a minute. Now we're starting to smell the aroma of the ginger, garlic, and scallions. You've done it again. Give yourself a gold star. With a few basic ingredients and clear visual instructions, you have just created a classic, Szechuan string beans. Our next dish is spicy bean curd. If you've ever walked into a Chinese market, you may have noticed white cakes submerged in water. This is bean curd, a product of the soybean cultivated more than 4,000 years ago in China. This recipe will serve too. Here we see a plate of fresh bean curd. Bean curd is extremely nutritious. It's low in fat and easy to digest. We will be cooking the bean curd with a small quantity of pork or beef. The meat, as mentioned before, will add flavor to the vegetable. By the way, the Chinese use bean curd as a substitute for meat in most instances because it's high in protein. If you're a vegetarian, this recipe will work for you without the meat. Bean curd is soft, about like Jell-O. Slice the cake in half with your cleaver or broad blade knife. Chop each half into 3 or 4 strips. Turn the strips at a right angle and chop into bite-sized squares. You see how quick and easy this is to do? Just slice in half, chop into strips, then squares. To make our spicy sauce, add 2 tablespoons minced scallions, 1 teaspoon minced ginger, 1 teaspoon minced garlic, 1 teaspoon chili paste with garlic, 1 1/3 cup soup stock, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 1 tablespoon sherry wine, 1 tablespoon of sugar, a half teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon cornstarch, and 2 tablespoons sesame oil. Now blend all these ingredients well. Pour a few tablespoons of vegetable oil into the hot wok and place the pork in the wok or pan. Separate the pork with the ladle and cook completely. This should take you about 2 minutes. Keep in the back of your mind to always cook that pork thoroughly. Add the bean curd to the pork. Remember, in a Chinese vegetable dish, the meat is less in quantity than the vegetables. It's added mainly for taste. Oil also brings out the flavor of the bean curd. Now add your sauce. Lower the heat and cook for 5 minutes. Keep up your stirring performance. By now, you should be a seasoned expert. And there you have it. With the aid of our spicy sauce, you have just transformed the lowly bean curd into a delectable and healthful dish. Spicy bean curd. Now, let's see what we can do with bean sprouts, a common ingredient in many Chinese recipes. By adding peppers and a sauce, we will dress up the bean sprout and turn it into something truly appetizing and appealing. Bean Sprout Supreme. We will use red bell peppers, snow peas, black mushrooms, and of course, bean sprouts. In Chinese cooking, all the ingredients are of the same size. In this recipe, everything will be cut to match the bean sprouts. We take the red pepper and cut off both ends with the cleaver, as shown previously. Our chef is an expert and demonstrates simple and elegant ways to prepare food. He simply opens the pepper with the cleaver and sweeps away the seeds. Then, he shreds the pepper into matchstick pieces. Notice how he rests the cleaver against his knuckles and tucks his fingers under, moving his fingers back slightly before each stroke? You should be familiar with this cutting technique by now. The ends of the snow peas have already been removed. Stack and shred using the same safe and effective technique. You can do it in less time than it takes to describe. The black mushrooms have been pre-soaked in warm water for 20 minutes. Stack them like the snow peas and shred. You see how simple and effective this cutting technique is? Thin slivers appear almost magically. And here we have our ingredients all set to go. To make our savory sauce, combine 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon dry sherry wine, 1/4 teaspoon sugar, 1/4 teaspoon white pepper, 1 tablespoon sesame oil, 1/4 teaspoon of minced ginger, and 1/4 teaspoon of minced garlic. Now blend everything together. Boil several cups of water in the wok. Add the colorful ingredients to the water. Kind of sprinkle them in to mix them all together. Now you poach the vegetables for 5 to 10 seconds, stirring with a ladle or large spoon. And that's really all it takes. Now drain in the colander. Empty the water from the wok and add a tablespoon of oil. Return the vegetables to the wok. Add the sauce. Stir for an additional 30 seconds or so to mix the sauce in thoroughly with the vegetables. Don't overcook the vegetables. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Quick, easy, colorful, delicious. Bean Sprout Supreme. For your graduation dish, so to speak, we have something truly outstanding. South Sea Curry Salad, a fabulous blend of yellow and green vegetables, nuts and seeds, and our spicy, tantalizing sauce. You're in for a real treat. Here we have fresh cabbage, cucumbers, celery, red and green peppers. Now we see the peeled and diced cucumbers. Red peppers, and green peppers. You use the simple and safe cutting techniques you've already learned. As we go along, we see the sesame seeds toasted in a pan for approximately 3 minutes. The peanuts are also toasted. And you crush them in a towel or cheesecloth. Last but not least, we have sliced string beans, diced carrots, and sliced cabbage. It's always a good idea to wash the vegetables first. As you can see, this is quite a combination of ingredients and a very healthy one, too. Onto the sauce. Combine 2 tablespoons of curry powder, 2 tablespoons water, 2 tablespoons coconut oil, 8 tablespoons white vinegar, 4 tablespoons sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 2 teaspoons of hot sauce. Now blend all the ingredients thoroughly. Before cooking, add a half cup of white vinegar to 5 cups of hot water. Now in goes the cabbage, the string beans, and the carrots. Also put in the red and green peppers and the cucumbers. Cook for about a minute, maybe a minute and a half or 2, turning over continually with a spoon or ladle. You can use the pot you would normally use to cook vegetables. You just want to blanch this colorful array of vegetables. Not overcook. Never overcook the vegetables. Now drain into the colander. Empty the water from the wok and add 1/3 of a cup of oil. Pour in the spicy, sensuous sauce. It smells good, doesn't it? As the sauce boils, return the vegetables to the wok. Stir thoroughly so that the vegetables absorb all the sauce. Now, doesn't that look fabulous? Now, after cooking the vegetables for a few minutes, add the toasted sesame seeds and the crushed peanuts. These go in last in order to retain their crunchiness. Stir once or twice and toss for good luck. Put on your chef's hat because you've really done it now. Get set for the rave reviews and be prepared to be cooking every weekend for all your family and friends. You have just created one of the real pearls of the Orient. South Sea curry salad. In our appendix, we pay special attention to the preparation of 1 chicken soup stock, 2 rice, 3 minced garlic, and 4 minced ginger. You will find chicken soup stock as an ingredient used in most of the recipes. That's why we felt this should appear first in our appendix. Our ingredients are a carrot, an onion, and about 2 pounds of chicken bones. We take the onion, cut it in half, and slice it into small pieces. Next, we slice the carrot on an angle, as shown. Put the onion and carrot together with the chicken bones. And now we're ready to make our soup. Boil 5 cups of water in the wok. Place all your ingredients into the water. I'm sure you know by now that it's not necessary to make chicken soup in a wok. so use whatever pot you would normally use for making soup. Bring the liquid to a boil and skim off any fat or foam from the surface. Turn the heat down to a simmer and cook for about 2 hours. That's all there is to it. Let's see how our chef makes rice. First, measure out 2 cups of long-grain white rice. Rinse the rice in water to remove the starch. Place the rice into a pot and add 3½ cups of water. Put the lid on top of the pot and make certain it's on tight. Now the pot goes on the burner. We turn the heat up to high until the water boils. Then the heat is lowered to medium until the water falls below the surface of the rice. Adjust the heat to low and simmer for about 10 minutes. See how the grains don't stick together? This is the result of rinsing the rice. Stir it and serve. And there you have a plateful of fluffy white rice. There are 3 steps to mincing garlic. We see here a garlic bud which has been separated from the clove and peeled. First we slice the bud, then we shred the pieces. And then mince. Our chef demonstrates that quite fine pieces can be minced with a cleaver or knife. Mincing ginger also has 3 steps. In preparation, the outer skin is removed. Step 1, we slice the ginger root. Watch closely the way our knuckles are placed up against the cleaver with our fingers tucked under. We move our fingers back ever so slightly with each cut. Remember, watch the video first, then concentrate on what you're doing. Step 2, the ginger is shredded into matchstick pieces like so. We turn the shredded ginger at a right angle and mince with firm, close strokes of the cleaver. Observe how our fingers are curved and our knuckles are placed flush against the blade. This technique assures safety and accuracy in mincing. The mincing procedure for ginger is always the same. 3 easy steps: slice, shred, and mince. We hope you've enjoyed this Chinese video cookbook. Here are shots of all the finished dishes in the Chinese video cookbook series. There are 6 videos in our series: beef, chicken, soups and noodles, vegetables, shrimp, and pork. Our dishes were gathered from surveying and testing famous restaurants in New York's Chinatown to find out which were the most popular and tasty. We have recipes from many regions in China, so we have something to suit every taste. Our videos are inexpensive, making it possible for you to build a complete library of recipes. With these video recipes, you can learn how to make sophisticated and delicious meals in the easy steps demonstrated by our master chef. The recipe cards that come with your video give you the complete ingredients for the various dishes, sauces, and marinades. Useful information regarding techniques has been repeated in each video cookbook, and every step has been demonstrated clearly by our experienced chef from a leading New York Chinatown restaurant. So it really is quite easy to work side by side with your VCR in learning the recipes shown here. In other words, you don't need to be a genius to learn from these tapes. And that is the beauty of the Chinese Video Cookbook series. What you see is what you do. It's really that simple. You can, of course, play back and repeat a step as often as necessary. Once you have mastered a certain skill, say slicing ginger, you will find the next recipe using that skill all the easier. Many of these recipes use the same ingredients to achieve the wide variety of dishes you see here. With experience, you can learn to make new dishes on your own. Using a few basic kitchen tools, a skillet instead of a wok, you too can become a master chef of Chinese cooking. Safety tips are emphasized and repeated throughout. So open the door to a new era in expanding your cooking skills. Put aside that old cookbook that never had enough illustrations. In a short while, the Chinese Video Cookbook will enable you to put on your table simple and elaborate dishes of 4-star restaurant quality, and have fun doing it. Now sit back and enjoy our finished recipes in our Chinese cookbook series. This has been Cooking Techniques Made Easy Through Video. I've been your host, Mark Coppola. This has been a WTE presentation.